Do you think Oklahoma's? Oh, Oklahoma is definitely not a lock to win the Big 12. First off, Brett Venables is an offense or a defensive coach. They do not have the defensive talent to be great on defense. I think they can be average. The problem is you're taking, arguably, he's a top 3 mine in college football on the offensive side of the ball. I think it's between Lane Kiffin, Steve Sarkisian, and his name escapes me, the head coach for USC now. Lincoln Riley. I don't know why it escaped me. For the top 3 minds in college football. I believe they're going to take a giant step back and become an average at best. And Dylan Gabriel doesn't scare me. Average at best offense. So I think if they're all around just an average football team, I think the culture will push them, probably eke out a win they probably shouldn't have, to be honest with you. So I think they win 10 games max. I think they're going to have at least 2 losses. Uh, 12 teams is fine too, but I like 10 personally. Would be good. I agree. I think Texas, USC, Miami, Nebraska, if they were all back, would be and you keep the guys that you have that are good now, would all be fantastic. And there is enough talent to go around now for that to happen, to where all these teams are good again, and that'd be really fun in my opinion. No. We can have this argument. That's a no. And you'll see in the NFL draft when Bijan goes higher than TreVeyon Henderson. I guarantee that, by the way. I guarantee you Bijan Robinson's somewhere between 15 and 22, and TreVeyon Henderson somewhere between 28. And they're not in the same class, 28 to 40. Bijan does things that TreVeyon just can't. His balance and his catching out of the backfield are better right now than TreVeyon Henderson. TreVeyon Henderson get better at that, but I would take Bijan. I actually think Mohamed Ibrahim, however you say his last name, might be the second best college, or might even be the best running back in college. Well, that guy's a beast. He does need to get better with his hands out of the backfield catching wise, but they don't really do that. So I don't know how good he actually is at that, but he was a beast before he got hurt. Texas 8-4. I agree. I think we're 8-4 team. 9-3 I would take. 8-4 to me is the bottom. 10-2 is the max. I don't see anything better than that. In no world can I see more than 10-2. Bijan's top end speed isn't great, but his acceleration is insane. And that's what's important. You don't need great top end speed as a running back. You need quick acceleration through the hole. 8. The only thing with 8 is I want to guarantee a spot for the group of 5. And I think they've earned that. I think Cincinnati proved that last year. They're not that far off. So, and at Cincinnati, talk about they're recruiting really well. They could be back here again in a couple of years in the college football playoff. So I like 10, but 8 to 12 is the number. Anything more than 12 is too much. Anything less than 8 is too little, in my opinion. No, I know, Uncle Rigo, that TreVeyon Henderson was a true freshman, but again, he's also playing behind a better offensive line, playing with a better quarterback. The whole situation was better. If Bijan Robinson was at Ohio State, could have went there, by the way, chose not to. Closer to Arizona, where his grandma lives, so she could watch him play once in a while. And I really do believe he'd average 2 to 3 yards more per carry. He would add more touchdowns. He's just a better football player. Look at his guys. The high school stats are insane. Go look at his stats on high school. This guy's his senior year was averaging 17 yards per carry. And there were games he was getting pulled out and halfway through the third quarter with 400 yards rushing. Yes, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Really helps out the channel. You're not helping me out. You're helping Mark out. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Go over to the Texas channel, hit the like button, subscribe if you're on Mark. If you're on the Texas channel, hit the like button, subscribe. And go over to the other videos and like and subscribe. Oh, you guys are going to be way better. So I'm not saying that. Your team is way better now. So Ohio State's going to win 11 games like they do every year. I live in Ohio, so I have to deal with fans. Not fun. But I just like, I go with my guy, you go with your guy. That's how it works. And we'll see. You're right. We will see. Just curious. The what's text low point to fire? If he goes, let's say they go 6-6 this year, and then next year with a fully operational team, in my opinion, which it's going to be, if they go like 7-5, they fire him. But then Arch Manning doesn't come, so I don't know. Arch Manning bought Steve Sarkisian next year 100%, so we'll have to see. Yeah, 100%. And I mean, he has, in my opinion, 2 wins out of the first 3 games. So he really has to win 4 games. That's why I think this team, if this team doesn't get to 8 wins, there's an issue. There really is. the schedule isn't very hard. I think there's 3 wins baked into the schedule. So I'm asking for 5 wins out of 9 to win 509 of those games, basically. Go Canes. Hey, they just paid $3 million for it wasn't 9. I know that was being reported, but I'm pretty sure Miami Hurricanes writers have come out and said they paid $3 million for a 4-star, which is a little bit high in my opinion. But Nico, Imalivia, I believe his last name is. I can't pronounce it very well. From Tennessee's getting paid $8 million, which I think is ridiculous for a guy that's never stepped on the field. He's getting paid more than a lot of backups in the NFL. But hey, rich guys will throw money at things. Mike, yeah, that is possible too. Ohio State will be passing a lot because they have the best wide receiver in core in college football. I'm not a big fan of CJ Stroud. I think he's good. I don't think he's great. But their wide receivers are amazing. I mean, their whole all-around offense is going to be probably the best in college football. Jackson Smith and Jigma, which Tom Herman didn't recruit him at all, didn't give him an offer until the last week before he went to Ohio State. You know, that would have been nice. Right in our state. I believe Round Rock, Texas, I believe. Or Rockwall. It's something rock. I know that. But it's ridiculous. Deshaun threw money at too many women. Yeah. All I have to say on that is when 24 people accuse you of something, probably some smoke there. Or probably some fire where that smoke is, I should say. Like I said, I think Oklahoma's a 10-win team max. I think they're in the same position as us. They're 8-4, 10-2. I think most of the Big 12 is that way. To be honest with you, they're just all around good, but no great teams with Big 12 this year. Yeah, it would be interesting to see what that looks like. My guess is show up to 1 or 2 events, and here's your however much money. Yep, Rockwall. And he's right there, and they didn't even offer him until later. Too late. And I don't know if he would have went there, but it's still we've done that with so many guys over the years, and why we've stayed where we are because we don't offer these guys where we offer them too late, or we tell them to play another position. In the case of Johnny Manziel and RG3, it's like, dude, don't even start on that. Stroud definitely got humbled when he when he scored a touchdown in the big house and it got taken back. I like he's a good player. He's just not who I think Ohio State fans think he is. I don't see him being great in the NFL. I just don't. It's been a long time since an Ohio State quarterback has been good in the NFL. I can't really think of one. And don't claim Joe Burrow. That's some BS if you're trying to claim Joe Burrow. There's been a lot of busts taken first overall. Point and Case, Jamarcus Russell. It doesn't. I don't care where you're. Well, it matters where you're taking. I shouldn't say that, but I don't. He won't be the number 1 pick. Will Anderson or Bryce Young will be the number 1 pick. Bryce Young is better than CJ Stroud, in my opinion. Do you think we'll get Hill? I do. But I think that recruitment is going to be drawn out a little bit more than these other ones. I think all these other guys that committed, and I fully expect Malik Muhammad to commit in the next couple days. I would expect Anthony Hill to get pushed down the road. I think he's going to take his time as he should, but I do believe it's A&M or us. Yeah, Johnny Manziel we may not have taken at all. RG3 100%. I believe we offered him and told him to go to safety. Or that was Johnny Manziel. It's one of the two. One of the two was offered and told to play safety or walk on and play safety. It's like, what the hell were you doing? It was one of the two. D-Rock Irish, thank you. And hit that like button and subscribe down below. Helps out the channel. He's 100% worth the wait. He's at a key position. He can play multiple positions as well. He can either be an edge rusher, which we desperately need after. I mean, you saw, I think Joseph Osai added 1 to 2 wins the prior year for Tom Herman. I think Tom Herman would have been fired in the middle of the season if Joseph Osai wasn't there. So he could be that type of player on defense if he's coming off the edge, or he could play middle linebacker. Oh, there's plenty more stories about that. There's stories about Andrew Luck. Guess where he grew up? In Texas. Did we offer him? No. Jameis Winston, supposedly, this one may not be true. I'd have to do more research on it. His favorite school was Texas. Did we offer him? No. There's so many guys that we just overlooked. And I think a lot of it is we treat recruitment, or we used to, of like we gave out as few as possible because we're so prestigious. It's like, oh, the University of Texas. And here's you're proud to receive one of our 150 commit or letters this year to come play for the university, and we just didn't offer a lot of guys that we should have. I'm 100% saying RG3 or Johnny Manziel was asked to play safety. I forget which one. And then Andrew Luck grew up obviously in Texas, didn't offer him. A lot of those stupid stories. Making lots of bold statements. I'm a bold person. In every statement I say, I believe. I fully believe Bryce Young is a better football quarterback than CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud may have a better year, but we'll see. I fully expect Bryce Young to be the better quarterback going forward in college this year and in the NFL. Saying this, Georgia goes on the road and loses to South Carolina. I mean, they lost to South Carolina 2 years ago, I believe. Yeah, 2 years ago. So that's possible. What's the point spread? I believe it's 16 and a half, or was when it opened. I don't know what it is now. I'm going to be honest. I don't really care about point spread until about a week before the game. So I would know that the first week of September. I do not know that now, but when it opened, I believe it was like 14 and a half to 16 and a half. Uh, I agree. I think he's the second best player in college football. I believe the two best players in college football play for Alabama. I believe if everything goes the way I believe it will, I believe Alabama's going to win it all. I think I would not, if Will Anderson stays healthy and they actually are willing to give it to a defensive player, he should get it. He's so good. Yeah, Walton, he has the prototypical body of a speed edge rusher, so it would be nice if we get him, but we'll see. Obviously, O'Shawn Mathis did hurt. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's great. I think he is an NFL player, though. I think he's a rotation guy in the NFL, so it would have been nice to have him, but Nebraska paid out the wazoo for him, and congrats to them. I want to see them do well, so it's like I can't really hate because I do want to see them get better, but obviously I like Texas way more than like Nebraska because I'm a Texas fan, so obviously I wish you would have went to Texas, but that's like one of the other places where, okay, you went there. There's certain places I don't mind going. Stanford being the number one. Anytime we lose a commitment to Stanford, like, dude, congratulations. Once you graduate from Stanford, you're set for life. So I kind of understand that. Yeah, I don't think Bryce Young's 6 foot either. I don't think he's 5'8", but he's probably like 5'10". Who's the best betting site to use? Unfortunately, I don't trust any companies that are offshore for this example only. Putting your money into an offshore betting company, and you may not get your money back. They don't have to pay you. There's no law. You can't sue them. You can't do anything. And the problem is gambling is not legal in Ohio, so I cannot gamble. So I do not look, but do not trust offsite betting companies or offshore betting companies. They can scam you out of money. There's nothing tying you to them to where they have to give you the money. So Barstool Sports, if it's open in your place, I would probably go with them because that's who I'd go with at this point if I could.